Good morning, Texoma. I'm Ashley Fitzwater. We want to welcome you, of course. Thank you for joining us this morning. We are going to be talking about the MLK Prayer Breakfast and Scholarship Breakfast this morning. Joining me now, two very familiar faces. They do a lot in the community. I'm sure many of you recognize them. Mr. Larry Nash, he is the center coordinator at the MLK Center, and also Mrs. Dorothy Roberts-Burns, and she is the coordinator of this Prayer and Scholarship Breakfast. So thank you both for being here this morning. I know it's coming up. This Saturday is the big day. It's already time.
January 19th is the 24th annual Martin Luther King Prayer Breakfast and Scholarship. We're excited. We want the community to be excited and come out and support us. We have numerous citizens throughout the community and youth to join us on this program doing prayers, and our speaker is a local person, Congressman Emanuel Cleaver. And come out and visit with him.
You know, he's a local guy that actually went to Booker T. Washington here in Wichita Falls. He was a graduate of Booker T. Washington, and he has a lot of friends and family that are excited that he's going to be here.
I like that. You know, someone connected to our community who's gone on to do some great things. You said he's a congressman, correct?
Correct.
First, he was a mayor of Kansas, the first black mayor of Kansas City.
Wow.
And his father still lives here in Wichita Falls.
Wow.
He's done a lot of good things in his political career, and I think he's going to be a treat for the whole community. I think everybody will enjoy listening to him and hearing what he has to say.
The breakfast will start at 7:30, and the line will run until 8:30 this year. Normally, we would let the line run straight and interfere with the program, but since the program starts at 8:45, we're going to close the line down at 8:30.
So what does that mean really needs to be the cutoff for when you get there? Because there's going to be a lot of people. I mean, we're talking close to 1,000 people possibly, correct?
And see, in years past, we've ran up against that window, and we've had people that got there right at 8:45 because, you know, the program says it starts at 8:45.
Sure.
So they figure they get there at 8:45, they're on time. So we just want to emphasize this year that getting there at 8:30 is going to be the last chance you get to go through the line, because we want to be able to start our program on time, and we want to be respectful for those first people that start the program off.
Absolutely.
We always, the Wichita Falls Police Department always does a great job of presenting colors, and we want to make sure we're respectful to that group as they're opening our ceremony with the presenting of colors. So we want to shut it down, get everybody seated, and enjoy the great show.
And we have people on there like our district attorney, our Maureen Shelton, and our own Channel 6, Chris Hogger. He's going to do a prayer. And our Dr. Hill from Midwestern. We have a young man from Burgess Elementary School, 9 years old, is going to do a prayer.
Wow.
And, you know, it's always a treat when you get those young ones up there.
Oh, yes.
Because they always do a great job, first of all. But when you see them get up there and you see the pride in which they exhibit to present these things, oh, it's always great. They always do a great job, and the crowd always gets a kick out of watching them.
Oh, absolutely.
It's going to be a good show as always.
Kajina Moore is that 9-year-old that's going to be there, and Rosa Flanagan from Iowa Park Independent School District, and Reverend Delaney is going to close us out. And I think this is a great program.
Now, it's an annual tradition. You know, if you've ever been before, there are lots of prayers. Like you mentioned, all these people are going to be saying a prayer and kind of different things as well, correct?
First prayer is the prayer for today. Then we have the prayer of comfort, the prayer of faith, the prayer of love, the prayer of peace, the prayer of hope, the prayer for the youth of today, and the prayer for the gift of life is our last prayer.
And I love how you incorporate so many people from the community to make this.
Of all walks of life.
Yes. Why do you feel that's so important to be a part of this program?
Well, first of all, you know, the program is a tribute to Dr. Martin Luther King. And Dr. Martin Luther King was about incorporating every race.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you don't continue to do that when you're representing him, then you're doing him a disservice. So you have to try to incorporate everybody. You want everybody to be part of it, because when you're talking about his dream, that's what his dream was. So it only makes sense for us to try to have everybody involved.
Absolutely. I kind of want to ask you a little bit about the past and how this was started, but I don't want to leave this out because there may be a lot of people watching this morning who are like, I want to be there, I want to go, I want to be a part of this important morning. It does start at 7:30, lasts until about 11:30 is what you have down, correct?
Correct.
And where can they get the tickets, and are there tickets still available?
Yes, we will sell tickets up until about Wednesday of this week. But our offices are open between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Martin Luther King Center, 1100 Smith Street. Our telephone number is 761-7980. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call. We'll get them answered. We'll tell you the best way to come and get your tickets. We'll give you directions. We'll give you that. But anything we can do to help, because what we want is we want the entire community to come, and we'll do everything we can do to get you there.
And we still have tables available.
Still have tables, yes.
So if like your business or a corporation or something wants to get together and bring several people, is that what you mean by the tables?
Correct. And the advantage of getting a table when you're talking about a business or a corporation, you have coworkers, and if you guys want to sit together, it just makes it so much easier, and it makes it more of a fun occasion when you're sitting there with your coworkers and you guys are all together. So that's why we do offer tables, and those are still available. And don't hesitate to give us a call. Come be part of it.
Maybe even a church group, huh? A ladies group
We
or
have
something
several
like
church
men's group,
groups.
something like that. Get together and come as well. Well, we need to take a quick break, but we're going to talk about really what this prayer breakfast, how it benefits the youth in our community as well, and how it all got started. I'd like to talk about that because it's in its 24th year, so a piece of history that continues. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with more. Welcome back to Inside Texoma. Once again, we are talking about the 24th annual Martin Luther King Prayer and Scholarship Breakfast here in Wichita Falls. It's all taking place this Saturday, the 19th, at the MLK in Wichita Falls. Lots of tickets still available. We talked a little bit about that. Now, I kind of wanted to go into how this event was started, and I know this is close to your heart, so can you share, really, take us back 24 years ago?
That would have been in 1989, I think, that the prayer breakfast was started at the Martin Luther King Center. At that time, we had a vision that this was the Martin Luther King Center. We weren't doing anything to recognize him on his day. So it was decided that let's start something. Started the Martin Luther King prayer breakfast with 106 people in attendance. The Dr. Robert L. Castle of Mount Pleasant Baptist Church was our first speaker. And still today, we are still grateful to him for getting us started. And after we had, at the Martin Luther King Center, we started moving to the different hotels. Mm-hmm. We outgrew all the hotels in the city. Wow. And we moved to the activity center, which was downtown at that time. And then we were so happy when they built Impact that would hold us in for our prayer breakfast. And that's how we started.
Are you blown away with how far it's really come? I mean, this is such a big day.
To start with 106,
yes.
and we have had as high over 1,000 people at one time.
Wow.
And that's a blessing.
Yes, absolutely. And you know what? We can make that happen again this year. I know that would be a great thing for you all to see.
We're working towards that.
Yes, and Texoma, you can do that. All you have to do, go get your tickets. Like she mentioned, this is an annual tradition. It's something that's paying tribute and, of course, helping so many here, right here in our community. And I'd love to talk about that. And, you know, has the scholarships always been a part of this prayer breakfast as well?
We started with $1,000 scholarship from Northwest Bank. And after that first year, it grew to $3,000, and it has just kept building. And I understand this year we are going to have an added scholarship. So we are really thankful for that.
Growing still, huh?
Growing still.
So can you tell us a little bit about the scholarships and who is benefiting from this great event?
Well, first of all, let me say that the scholarships, if it wasn't for the outstanding members of our community, you know, this wouldn't be possible. We get so much support from a lot of businesses throughout our community, and they make these things possible. So we live in a great community. As far as who benefits, we send scholarship packets to every high school in Wichita Falls. The guidance counselors there they get to the students through the counselors, and at that point, they fill them out, get them in. March 1st is our deadline. That is a deadline that we do not waver on. If they're not postmarked by March 1st, we don't even entertain the scholarship packet. Get them in. We have a scholarship committee that meets. Wow. We sit down and we go through every scholarship, and we just try to choose the best candidates and issue the scholarships. They're available for anybody that goes to Wichita Falls Independent School District schools, or anybody within a 60-mile radius. So, you know, it's open to a lot of individuals, and there's a lot of chances for school kids to get these scholarships. We try to find the best candidates, and we try to help these guys get their foot in the door. We believe that if we can get some of these kids in the door of colleges, it's a tremendous help in their life, in their quality of life. Absolutely. So, I mean, it's a great program. It's a strong program. Last year we gave away 17 scholarships.
Wow.
So, I mean, we're continuing to try to better that each year. We want to give away as many as possible. And it's just truly a blessing that we're able to help a lot of these kids get into school.
And with the cost of tuition going up, you know, I know this has got to be such a blessing on these families. Is it the same amount for each one?
We have 2 full rides from Midwestern.
Wow.
And 2 from Vernon. So, can you imagine that?
Oh, as a parent myself, no, I mean, you know, it's so expensive. You almost think you have to start saving now, even as they're little.
And a lot of these students, they've really worked hard, and they really deserve these scholarships. But sometimes when they get them, they're just still excited, and they just don't believe it. And trust, and as a committee, we like to be able to do that because everybody's involved in this because we want to help kids.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's all about. We want to help kids, and fortunately, through the community, we're able to do that.
I know that's got to be such an exciting thing, probably, to be on that board and read those and be able to give back, but probably one of the hardest things too, huh? Because you're limited.
You never want to say no.
Yeah.
And that's the whole goal. The more money we can raise via the prayer breakfast, the less chance we have to say no. So that's what our goal is.
Because we have to pay for our food, we have to pay for our speaker.
Sure.
And what monies we have left, the Martin Luther King Center take that money and to give scholarships. We gave $4,000 scholarships last year.
Yes.
Wow. It's so neat to see how much really the center is pouring back into the community. I mean, a lot of people may not be aware, but you know, changing a lot of lives here. Are there any stories of maybe previous people who were awarded scholarships and what they've gone on to do? Anybody that stands out in your mind?
Well, there is one young man that his name was Mario Carrizo. Mario Carrizo, he had a debilitating disease, and he was wheelchair bound. But he received the scholarship, and he attended Vernon College. He went there for 3 years, got his associate's degree, and now he is in South Texas attending college. Wow. And when you hear those type of stories and you see those type of kids, to be able to play a role in helping them get where they are, it just makes you feel good.
And knowing that someone believes in you, I'm sure for many of these kids as well, you know, you're believing in them and investing in them with these scholarships. So a big life changer, I'm sure, for many of them. Yeah. Now, whenever you're filling out the scholarships, in case there's parents or students watching this morning, they have until March 1st of this year. We're in January right now, right. So this is the time to start doing that. What all is really, what all is involved in this process?
Well, basically, the scholarship packet, what it does is it provides us information about each individual. And I said the high school counselors has them, but you can also come by the Martin Luther King Center and pick a packet up also. But within the packet, it asks things like what organizations are you involved with, what do you do extracurricular-wise, and those type of things. It kind of gives us an idea of who you are and what you've done throughout your high school career, just to help us give out these scholarships to the best candidates.
And is it seniors in high school? Is that what the age group you're looking at?
Correct.
The first time.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, and we were talking about people that have received scholarship. Actually, we had one time a speaker, our first recipient to come back and be a speaker for us, who had graduated and got a master's degree from college. His last name is Gurley. Do you remember?
Correct. Mr. Gurley came back about 2 years ago and spoke. He was like keynote speaker, and he was the original class that got the original scholarship.
The first one.
The first one. Is that, I mean, again, I just have to go back to really kind of the vision behind all of this and seeing all these lives that are touched. You just know you did that, you know, God was involved, huh? And you did something that
right
you're supposed to be doing right, huh? That's pretty awesome. Well, I really appreciate both of you sharing. I know we have more to get to, including I want to talk a little bit more about the center's goals and what all the MLK Center does for our community. And of course, we're going to go over again how you can get your tickets. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more. Welcome back to Inside Texoma. We are talking about the 24th annual Martin Luther King Prayer and Scholarship Breakfast. It's really a big event, of course, for our community and helps so many people and pays tribute, as we've mentioned several times, to the late civil rights leader, Dr. Martin Luther King. Now, we wanted to go into, speaking of Dr. Martin Luther King, the MLK Center.
Well, the center, like you said, is there for the community, and what we like to do is just try to meet the needs of the community. On a daily basis, we have a senior feeding program and a senior citizens program. Senior citizens are able to come in, get a meal, and basically participate in different activities. They play bingo. They do a lot of different things. They watch movies, and just try to give them a place to go in the summertime, get them out of the heat a little bit. In the wintertime, get them out of the weather a little bit. So, you know, we try to provide that for seniors. And then the other side of the building is dedicated to a child care program. And, you know, it's filled with kiddos. It stays packed, and they really do a good job of watching the kids back there. And then as far as other duties, we try and just meet the needs of the community. During the summers, we do things like have fan giveaways. We just try to gauge what's going on in the community, and we try to meet the need. So the community center is there. We want people to come by and utilize it. A lot of different organizations do. We have Optimus clubs and organizations such as that come in and they use the facility for their meeting place. We have community meetings on weekends. It's just there for whatever, you know. We try, like I said, to meet the needs of the community. This time of year, we're about to start our income tax program. Citizens will be able to come in, get their tax filled out at no charge. So yeah. We're lucky to have a center. We do our best to make sure that people understand that the center is there for them, and that's what we do.
How long have the center's doors been open?
1978 it opened, and been there ever since.
Without this center in our community, do you think there will be a lot of people who may be doing without, or?
Well, the thing of it is, the people who utilize the center are the people who really need the center.
Yeah.
You know, so without the center, lives would be changed. Lives would be changed. On a daily basis, lives will be changed. And then throughout special events in which we provide, lives would be not as easy. I mean, for example, Thanksgiving, we give food. I understand that's once a year, but when we give it, the people really need it. And, you know, those type of perks, those are perks of having the center. And that's why the center is important.
Or the fans. I mean, it gets hot and it can turn deadly for some families, you know, if they don't have any air, and it gets hot here in Wichita Falls.
For example, last summer, we gave away 210 fans.
Wow.
Yeah, and and we still had to turn people away.
And you do that legal services, Mr. Nash?
We have legal aid where people can come in and get legal advice for free. Wow. And, you know, a lot of times, you know, you don't know that that's important until you're that person who needs it, because legal fees are sometimes, they're just astronomical. And just to be able to come in and talk to some people and be steered in the right direction, it's a great cause.
Now, how are you able to do all this for free? How are you able to keep this funded and keep this going for our community?
Well, we do fundraisers, and a lot of the things that we have to have, we go out and we just try to earn what we can to make it happen. I know every year I have an annual golf tournament, and that's my chief fundraiser for other things aside from the prayer breakfast.
Yeah.
Now we use the prayer breakfast and we get money and we give all that money to scholarships.
Yeah.
You know, so for everything else, you know, I go out and I raise the money and just try to make it last and make it work for our community.
Wow. So always looking for any donations that maybe people are wanting to give. What about time or volunteers? Are those needed just as much?
We always look for volunteers, especially when we have special events, and that's going back to this community again, because it's whenever something comes up, we have a database that we can always call several people, and they're always willing to come and help. And that's the thing that living in this community it's a great thing, because whenever there's a need, somebody always steps up.
Yeah. I love that. You know, we hear that time and time again. It doesn't matter what organization it seems like we have on to talk. You hear that response. And I think that speaks so highly. And I'm just going to say that again. It makes me proud to be a part of such a community that always steps up to the needs. So,
I agree.
You know, thank you for all that you do, both of you, taking time to put this together. I know he would be proud of what you've done, and the community as well. It's changing lives. So don't go anywhere. We're going to take another quick break, and we're going to come back with one more look at this prayer and scholarship breakfast and how you can get involved and make a big difference as well. Welcome back to Inside Texhoma. We're talking about the 24th annual Martin Luther King Prayer and Scholarship Breakfast. It's all this Saturday, the 19th, at the Impact in Wichita Falls. And if you can just tell us one more time what time it kicks off and what time people need to be there.
The breakfast line, our serving line, will be at 7:30 till 8:30. The program will begin at 8:45. You can purchase your tickets up until the 17th of this month of January at the Martin Luther King Center from 8 until 5. And we're encouraging anyone in the community to come by and purchase a ticket. For adults, it's $20. For our youth, it's $14. We need the support of the community to help continue our scholarship program.
Absolutely. And going back to the breakfast, what's on the menu? What can people expect as they go through the breakfast line?
Well, typically, we usually have your traditional breakfast. Start with coffee, juice, and milk, and then on the plates you usually have biscuits, gravy, sausage, eggs, and what else can you ask for to get your morning started?
Absolutely. I know this morning everybody sitting at home is like, "Oh, that sounds really good. I would like to be eating that right now." So I'm sorry we've made you extra hungry this morning. And if you don't feel like cooking all that up, this Saturday is going to be a good time to enjoy that. It's going to be fixed for you. All you have to do is go get your ticket for this prayer breakfast. So again, all taking place at the Impact. If you'd like to pick up those tickets, we're going to put up that screen once again. They can also come by the MLK Center, as you mentioned, if you can give that address once again.
1100 Smith Street. Our hours are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Come on down and help us out.
Okay. Well, again, we just appreciate both of you being here. We look forward to this. I know it's going to be a great morning. And Texhoma would like to see you there as well.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you for joining us this morning. We hope you have a great day. As always, we'll see you back here next Sunday morning for another look inside Texhoma.